Hello everyone, Casual Gamer here, continuing my Let's Play of Axis and Allies, the RTS. 6 years ago, I started a Let's Play, and, I've done over 23 different campaigns. The 12 Axis campaigns and 11 of the Allies campaigns, and today, we're doing the 24th and final campaign, the invasion of Okinawa. Iwo Jima is in American hands. Japanese airspace is now dominated by endless American bomber runs. Nevertheless, an amphibious invasion will be necessary to ensure final victory. Every island closer to Japan has been proven harder to take, with fiercer resistance and more brutal fighting. Now the invasion of the home islands must begin, with an assault on Okinawa. The battle is guaranteed to be the most difficult yet. And that's no lie.
We've achieved complete air and naval superiority over the Japanese. Nevertheless, Emperor Hirohito persists in his refusal to surrender. Our job is to take Okinawa, so that we will have a base of action from which to launch an attack on the home islands. Be ready. The Japanese have been fighting to the last man. War is almost over, boys. Be careful.
Welcome to a 2-hour and 30-minute campaign. You start off with a naval battle between 3 Pennsylvania-class battleships and 2 Yamato-class battleships, First thing I'd like to do is make sure that all 3 ships are firing on the enemy, and don't worry if you lose a couple of ships during this. As long as you have 1 Pennsylvania class, you'll be alright. And another thing I like to do is send about 6 to 7 Marine troops, regiments, to the northernmost part of the island, and a Corps HQ. The reason I like to do that is because the Japanese are everywhere in this campaign, and, well, I figure rushing the north is easier than going from the middle and then having to fight on 2 fronts. Which is basically what I'd end up having to do. Fun fact, the northernmost part of the island has a Japanese military base already there. But not to worry, we can rush these units and take out the base in relatively quick pace, hence the Marine troop regiments. It's kind of like D-Day all over again, but with the Japanese island of Okinawa. I send my carrier there. By the way, this is post-commentary. As a guard from enemy air raids, which will happen a lot in this campaign, by the way, until you take out the carrier that's in the middle right end of the island, which we can't send a ship there. We actually have to bomb them to get rid of it, which I kind of forgot where it was at in this campaign. So when I was doing this, I was like, man, I wish I could find that airfield. And I forgot that there was a carrier on the right side of the island. So you could do this early on and make your life a lot easier than mine will be in this campaign. There's the Corps HQ building. I tried to send this ship down to the left side of the island where there's a ship, but the Japanese bombers took out my ship because it was already heavy damaged, as you're about to see. 2 infantry division HQs is standard, as I like to do. And I also usually like to bomb the core HQ buildings, which there's a shit ton of those in this campaign, by the way. Weight of our resources. Yeah, that's what you're gonna have to do. Actually, the island is relatively easy to take up to the halfway point. When I get about half of the island, that's when I start facing the real trouble in this campaign. Goodbye, Pennsylvania-class battleship. Start attaching units so they can heal. This is going to be a long campaign, regardless. By the way, the recording in this video got cut off, so I actually had to pause the game and start up again. And you'll see that way later on in the campaign, and I'll explain it again then.
We must show uncommon valor.
Mainly because these videos take a lot of hard drive space. I pull out 2 mechanized division HQs, but I'm thinking to myself, why didn't I pull out a motor pool? Get some anti-tank regiments. I also learned something in this campaign I didn't know about the game. Anti-aircraft half-tracks. I thought you just had to leave them there so they'll attack at the planes. But no, you can tack out planes really quickly if you select your unit and tell them attack a specific plane, and they'll just shoot them things down, baby. Wish I'd have known that years ago. I would have built some and made my life a lot easier.
Do not underestimate our enemies.
Got these Japanese tank units that I have to deal with, unfortunately. And Japanese planes. Be prepared for that when you play this campaign for yourself, or anyone playing along with me here. At least when we wipe out the Japanese base, that's one less Japanese base we had to contend with. And there's more room for building. We don't have to continue to build around this mountain.
It's the general. Open fire.
With the full weight of our resources.
On your feet. Open fire. On your feet.
Yeah.
We'll be there.
pretty much ran out of things to say. Just gotta tackle these Japanese units here, and which I do. Just takes me a while. They can heal. Wait, I can heal. They cannot, so that helps. Engineer brigade will come in handy. Oh, I make an engineer unit in this game that really earns its keep. Let me just put it that way. Due to the constant bomber runs, this engineer unit that I create right here earns his keep.
We must show uncommon valor.
Something, sir? We'll
Yeah, I need you to heal those buildings.
lay down some fire.
I need you to take out the enemy motor pool. And that's that.
Do you need something, sir? Hunting, hunt. Hunting, hunt. Fall in, fall in. Do you need something, sir?
Yeah, I nearly lost these buildings to Japanese bombers.
Let us have the courage never to give up.
When do we get some R&R, sir? On the job. Hunting, hunt. Fall in. Hunting, hunt.
Yeah, it's pretty much a tedious, long task. But I start capturing a lot of territory, as you're about to see, using my base expansion method. Supply depots, infantry division HQs, that sort of thing. I end up increasing the supply line all the way to city number 3, which, by the way, the objectives are to capture cities 1, 2, and 3. The final objectives in our campaign.
When do we get some R&R, sir? On the job.
Our first anti-aircraft battery.
We will do what must be done.
Motor full truck, maybe?
It's the general. Commence fire.
I have them
Fall in.
attacking that.
Do not underestimate our enemies.
Standing by. Right away,
Japanese. Yeah, I can use those. I use those later on to really start hammering these Japanese planes. And they do a damn good job. By the way, we have nuclear bombs in this campaign, which is marvelous. I use them way more than they were used in the real World War II.
We'll be there. When do we get some R&R, sir?
I wasted that nuclear bomb.
It's the general.
Try to take out these bunkers right here so they're not in my way.
On the job. On the job. We'll be there. When do we get some R&R, sir? On the job.
Heal that building.
We will constantly press the enemy with the full weight of our resources.
Oh, by the way, this campaign, you know how I would research some here and there of things? This campaign, I research absolutely everything that you can possibly research. Fun fact.
It's the general. All in. All in. Do you need something, sir? We'll be there. Hut in. Hut. All in. Attachment ready. See you there. When do we get some R&R, sir?
Another anti-aircraft battery.
We'll be there.
We must show uncommon valor.
Not as effective as the anti-aircraft units, though. I like those more.
Hut in. Hut. Open fire. Where to? Enemy contact. Do you need something, sir? On the job.
Let us have the courage never to give up.
On alert. Redeploying. Do you need something, sir? We'll be there.
Don't know if it's here. I learned. Look how fast they shoot that plane down.
It's the general. On your feet. Hut in. Hut.
Oh yeah, you can see the ship right there on the left side. That has to be taken out, or more core HQ buildings are going to be built. That and another ship that's next to the small island on the left bottom of the map.
We'll be there. Where to? Enemy contact. Where to? Yes, sir. Attachment ready. Do you need something, sir? We'll be there.
We will do what must be
Armed and
done.
ready. Moving out. Standing by. Lock and load. When do we get some R&R, sir?
I love those units.
Do you need something, sir? get some R&R,
ammunition
sir.
production.
We'll be there. On the job. Situation normal. It's the general.
More fighting. Can't believe we're already 21 minutes in.
Do not underestimate our enemies.
On alert. Lock and load.
Oh, this is where I find out how wonderful these units are. Look at that. Oh, that's so beautiful. Take that, you stupid plane. I wish I knew that a long time ago. I feel like a fool.
Waiting for orders. On the job.
This is where I increase my supply lines. Excuse me.
Hunt in. Hunt. Fall in. Situation normal.
Bring my units back up to heal. Hello, kitty cat. I have a kitty cat near me.
We'll be there.
Nuclear bomb power. Not as effective as it would have been in real life, I think.
Hunt in. Hunt. Where to?
Nerfed nukes.
Detachment
Then
ready.
again, I do deploy a lot of them.
Hunt in. Hunt. Commence fire. Detachment ready. Waiting for orders. Let's roll. Lock and load. Where to? Enemy contact.
We will constantly press the enemy with the full weight of our resources.
Supply depot
Standing
truck.
by.
Attack them.
Zeroing in. On alert. Zeroing in.
Didn't get to do much, did you, Mr. Japanese plane?
Enemy contact. Where to? Moving up. Hunt in. Hunt. Fall in. It's the general. Fall in. On your feet.
I try to send this ship down to attack that ship right there. That ship starts bombarding my supply depots, which I cannot stand for that. That Yamato class battleship must be sunk. So the battle between the two ships begins, although the AI is pretty stupid when it comes to ships, so they didn't attack my ship back to save itself. But it does continue to bombard my supply depots, which I have to build another one to replace.
When do we get some R&R, sir?
Unfortunately. Goodbye,
You must
supply
show
depot.
uncommon valor.
At least they're cheap. They're only like 25 coins. Gold, what coins, whatever you want to call it. And then it attacks that one. It's like, you're not taking damage fast enough. I don't have the gold to bomb you.
Hut in, hut. Fall in. Hut in, hut. It's the general. Where to? Yes, sir.
Come on.
Standing by. Lock and load. Do you need something, sir? We'll be there.
I love those units. Still build more anti-aircraft batteries, though. The Japanese ship went out of range, so I moved my ship closer to put it in my sights. Removing the fog of war.
Do you need something, sir? We'll be there.
Unpacking this. Come on, little ship, move down closer.
Where to?
No
Let
more
us have the
bombarding
courage
for
never
you.
to give up. We will do what must
This is
be
a
done.
human player, it would have been out. It would have went out completely differently. Those ships would have been utilized more by the Japanese.
Fall in. Open fire.
Do not underestimate our enemies.
Detachment ready.
We will constantly press the enemy with the full weight of our resources.
More enemy units. Very sacrificial of them. Because, I mean, they're completely outnumbered there.
Redeploying. Detachment ready. See you there. We'll be there.
Come on.
Waiting for orders.
Oh yeah, the Japanese ships bombarding my infantry division HQ. What fun.
See you there.
But I'm about to take a city pretty soon. First city in the game that I take. Aren't you gonna fire back at my ship? Guess you don't care about surviving. Fun fact, the ships that attack you at the beginning of the game, those ships are like already set in the bombard mode by the setup of the campaign. The AI doesn't control that.
Waiting for orders. Lock and load. It's the general. Open fire. Detachment ready. Moving up. Hut-in, hut. All in.
They took out my infantry division HQ. No, how could they?
We'll be there.
Move it up a little bit.
Detachment ready. See you there.
As you can see, I'm running out of supply here. Which means that I am slowly draining on men.
Where to? Where to? Yes, sir. Where to? Yes, sir. Detachment ready. See you there. It's the general. On your feet. Do you need something, sir? On the job.
We must show
Yeah,
uncommon valor.
common valor.
Detachment ready.
2 hours to go.
Let us have the courage never to give up.
God, these campaigns are so long. Come on. Finally. Took that Yamato class battleship out of the game. 2 more ships to go. Nuclear bomb, please. Hello, Blake.
Where to?
There's a cat on my lap.
Enemy contact.
If you hear those meows in the background. Another infantry division HQ building. Expand my border range within the city.
Yes, sir.
Talking as if this is regular commentary, but it's really not.
Ready to roll.
As you can see, I had to pause the game and then by the numbers down there, and then unpause the game. But I forgot to remove the timer, which you will see in a couple seconds. Me pausing the game again to remove the timer that's on the screen, which I just cut that out. So it was like snap of a finger, but there was actually more of a transition. back to the game in this. Wanted to make it seamless for my commentary, you know. So I spliced that ahead of time. It happens again later on, but that's not till much later. Because this recording, some reason, stopped itself. Like nearly 3/4 of the way into the campaign. Give or take. Anti-tank regiments. My favorite. I will take this city. It will be mine. There's nothing you can do to stop it. Except you can surrender. You can do that for me. Unconditionally. Oh yeah, I tried to show the objectives there. A little late for that, Jack. I already talked about that at the beginning. Light tank division regiments. This city's heavily defended. I'll give it that. Then I try to go for the aircraft carrier for some reason. You can see I'm losing units. Trying to desperately take this city here. And the Japanese are defending it to the death. Literally. And then Japanese bombers come in and try to ruin things up a little more. Tried to build an anti-aircraft tank regiment. That would have been nice. But I think the half-track ones are sufficient. They're also faster. I think I eventually built a second engineer unit to heal that building. Don't remember. I know I do build a second engineer unit. That I assure you. Just don't know when I build it. I want the city. Thai area. There we go. We're close to having half the map, and then my units go run off on their own for some reason. There's the engineer unit I spoke of. Another handy engineer unit, but not as useful as the first one. I don't use this one as much. Go back to the border. Why are you running down there like that? Right into the enemy base. So we have about a quarter of the island right now. And trust me, when it gets about half, that's when things really go to hell.
Standing by. Lock and load. Do you need
Yeah,
something,
take
sir?
them down.
On the job.
Poor anti-aircraft battery.
We will do
Oil
what
production
must be
research.
done.
Button. Hut. Ball in. Ball in.
Oh, lordy. I think I'm gonna pause my commentary here. I'm back. Went and got me a drink. Delicious. Here comes the waiting period. I don't know if I actually wait or not.
Something, sir?
I know I use that engineer unit to heal my buildings. Very useful unit. I do eventually lose this ship, and I don't remember why. Border goes around the river.
Where to?
There's nothing up there, so there ain't no point to that.
On the job.
Oh yeah, expand my borders even further. I even go as far as building a second core HQ building. That's something I remember now doing. And start building a second base down here. That's how intense things are about to
Be
get.
there. Do you need something, sir? We'll be there.
Start bombing Japanese bases, and then I think that's how I learned about the enemy ship. But not this core HQ. The next bomb run, I think it is. I unpacked the supply depot to actually increase my borders southward. I figured that there'd be nothing attacking me from the north at this point, so I moved my supply depot down.
On the
Doesn't
job.
hurt that there's a gap in the supply lines, as long as I have supply lines in the front lines.
On alert. Redeploying. Redeploying. Zeroing in.
Yeah, take out those little... Goodbye.
Do not underestimate our enemies.
I'm not underestimating them by no stretch.
Where to? Enemy contact. Button. Hut. Going to be all in.
unpack this infantry division HQ and move it downward. I figured it was a smart idea at the time, and it is, actually. This pretty much becomes my main base area.
Where to?
Lose units that way. Should be more careful with my nukes.
Hunted. Hunt. Fall in. Situation normal. Let's roll.
This is about half of the island right here. And this is where things get intense. I do mean that. So it's best that I pack these buildings up and ship them out.
When do we get some R&R, sir? We'll be there. We'll be there.
Japanese planes. Attacking my poor little units. I can't do nothing about it because I don't have any anti-aircraft stuff. My 2nd Corps Division HQ building. And it gets a lot of use.
It's the general. Open fire.
This little city thing, which is not really a city, that was a hard thing to pass through.
Let's roll.
Oh yeah, and the Japanese had longer range than I did. I learned that there, and when they attacked my poor supply depot. I was like, you bastards.
Reporting is ordered. Roger. Where to?
I tried to increase my range as well after this.
Do you need something, sir?
I ended up researching everything.
On the job.
We will constantly press the enemy with the full weight of our resources. We must show uncommon valor.
Build anti-aircraft battery.
Hunted. Hunt. Fall in.
And my 1st Infantry Division HQ, which is the 7th one, but the 1st one with the new Corps HQ building.
Where to?
I start pumping out buildings like nothing. Well, I say that, I actually don't remember, but I do know that I start pumping out a lot more buildings. It's doing a lot more research. I think that's my artillery brigade building, too. Actually, yeah, I do pump out a lot of buildings. I end up building another airfield at some point.
See you there.
Because I got sick of just having 2 aircraft carriers. I needed a 3rd airfield.
Sir.
Although land airfields cost more to fire up than it does off of an aircraft carrier, which is something to keep in mind.
On the job.
Long range artillery. This was it. That was it.
Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Reporting is on it. Roger. Ready to roll. Let's roll. Where to? Moving up.
Yeah, this is a hell fight.
We'll be there.
Let us have the courage never to give up.
This fight on this little space right here takes forever. And countless troops give their lives to defend my base and to try to make progress. It's like a World War I situation, a stalemate, if you will, right here at this line.
When do we get some R&R, sir? We'll be there. On the job. Attachment ready. Acknowledge. Ready to roll. Yes, sir. On the job. We'll be there. We'll be there. We'll be there.
Anti-tank
Need something,
units.
sir? You need something, sir? Reporting as ordered. Not another mark.
I really do love
Need
those.
something, sir? Attachment ready. Hut in. Hut. All in.
This time I decided to move the base. I figured it'd be a waste to do units.
Acknowledge.
At this point I was thinking in my mind, the only way I'm going to make any progress is if I start destroying more of their buildings. Which I'm right.
Hut in. Hut. We'll be there. On the job. Where to? Enemy contact. Enemy contact. Where to?
We will do what must be done.
My poor men. Heavy tank research. Start getting some heavy tanks out here.
When do we get some R&R, sir? Attachment ready. Moving up. Attachment ready. Moving up.
Oh, Lord. I remember playing this and being like so drained by the constant barrage of tanks from the enemy.
It's the
Just like, am I gonna lose this campaign because they keep coming at me? But I managed to hold them off at this line. They never get past this line.
Underestimate our enemies.
Spoiler alert. use my ship to bombard them like they did me earlier in the campaign.
When do we get some R&R, sir? On the job.
Heavy tank, heavy tank. Heavy tank regiment. Bring it out right now.
Enemy contact. Where to? Enemy contact.
You can see how crazy this gets. I started suspecting that there might be another ship when I kept destroying these core HQ buildings with my bombers and they keep sprouting up like cockroaches. Because that's not supposed to happen. But it isn't until much later that I actually find a ship.
Reporting an order.
There's 2 more ships on the field.
Commence fire.
This little mini city that you can't even capture. Standing in my way, blocking progress is like a trench. Trench warfare, kind of. City trenches.
Enemy contact.
More research. As if I can afford that right now. Well, which I can, because I do survive. Bomber run, bomber run. Going on a bomber run.
Attachment ready.
Then my men just run into their own deaths.
See you there.
I hate it when they do that. Didn't order you guys to go past the line, just to defend.
Attachment ready. Enemy
Should be
contact.
more like Rise of Nations, where you can just have them in defense mode. Goodbye, Core HQ building.
Attachment ready. Moving up.
Ugh.
Where to? Hunted.
We're only an hour into this 2-hour and 30-minute fight. It was more intense playing it. Couldn't imagine doing this in regular commentary, to be honest. I'd be too distracted. Way too distracted by all these units on the field. Look at that, it's insane. They're like ants. Cockroaches keep sprouting up. With heavy artillery, if cockroaches had tanks. I try to bomb some of their Division HQ buildings, but they keep sprouting up Core HQ buildings, which didn't really do me much good. As I find out when I do these bomber runs.
Where to? Yes, sir. On the job.
Yeah. One day I'll take care of you, you stupid bombers. One day.
When do we get some R&R, sir?
Stalemate
On the
time.
job.
I hate stalemates.
We'll be there. On the job.
Because I can't progress when there's a stalemate. At least they only had one aircraft carrier. At least they didn't have a bunch of airfields or anything like that.
On alert. Redeploying.
And another Core HQ building just sprout up out of nowhere. Bomb it. My poor Pennsylvania-class battleship is gaining heavy damage. And another little fight for my area of the field. If only I knew about the ship sooner, I could have made this easier on myself. Nope. Don't learn till I waste a bunch of bombs.
Reporting as ordered. Not another march. Attachment ready. Standing by.
I kind of make progress at some point, and then I get
When do we
pushed
get some
all
R&R,
the way
sir?
back.
We'll be there. What are your orders?
We will constantly press the enemy with the full weight of our resources.
You need something, sir? On the job.
And then I put down a supply depot, trying to expand my supply lines into that miniature city that isn't a city, registered by the game. You know, it's next to a larger city. Look at all those units. It's insane. Absolutely insane.
Do you need something, sir?
We're an hour into this.
On the job. See you there. See you there. Enemy contact. On alert. Lock and load. Melee, sir. Where to?
Come on. Make progress.
Enemy contact.
Destroy them. I tried my hardest. Here.
It's the general. Yes, sir. Where to? Enemy contact. Yes, sir.
Looks like I'm making progress. Will this stalemate come to an end? Who knows? Nope. Back to square one.
We'll be there.
Fire regiments. Ooh. And another heavy tank.
Do you need something, sir? We'll be there. Yes, sir. Coming through. Where to?
I tried even paratroopers. I forgot I did that. This is a complete waste. Complete waste of resources and men. Could be utilized somewhere else. I try to do that to break the stalemate here. And it did work for a little while, I think. I don't know if it was because of that or something else. But it ends up getting stuck again.
Yes, sir. Coming through. Take
I got through the city, hooray! Thinking that I would be able to take city number 2, but nope, not quite.
Yes, sir. Take them out. What are your orders? Detachment ready.
1 hour, 11 minutes.
Fueled and ready, sir. Line 'em up.
And there's the Japanese, just waiting for me to leave that safety net and be like, oh, you think you're gonna take the city, eh? No, we're going to come and surround you and crush you. And that's exactly what they did. See, it kind of worked, but kind of didn't. And you can see another core HQ building, which is a red flag. It's in the same spot, even. I don't think to move my ship downward. To look around.
What are your orders?
Makes sense. But when do I ever make sense in these games, right? Actually, sometimes I do.
We'll be there. On the job.
Oh, yeah.
When do we get some R&R, sir? Do you need something, sir? We'll be
Yes,
there.
I
Let
need
us
to
have the
repair that
courage
building.
never to give up. We will do what must be done.
We'll be there.
Rebuild my forces, recuperate. Get bombed on by the Japanese. Or maybe not. Maybe this is the one that goes up to the northern part of the base again. Just to be shot down again.
Do you need something, sir? We'll be there.
Heal my core HQ.
Detachment ready.
Looks like I have territory there, but really the Japanese are just
Fueled and ready, sir. Coming
ready to push me through.
Do not underestimate our enemies.
Digging in. On the double.
Digging in the wrong spot.
Pour it on. What are your orders?
Thought process was if I destroy the core HQ, they'd start losing units. But, you know, they have a ship, which I didn't know at the time.
On the job.
So this was completely pointless. This is not going to fix my stalemate problem.
We'll be there. On the job. On the job. On the job. We'll be there. Yes, sir. Take 'em out.
And I try to take these Japanese units down here.
Clear the road. Attachment ready. Moving up? Yes, sir. What are your orders? Clear the road. What are your orders?
They are losing resources there, but they get another core HQ building relatively quickly.
Where to? Enemy contact. Attachment ready. Moving up.
Bonsai!
Show us the enemy.
I love it. 190L Bonsai.
Fueled and ready, sir. It's the general. Commence fire. Where to? Enemy contact. Hunted. Fueled and ready, sir. Fueled and ready, sir. Let 'em have it. Hunted. Open fire.
I try bombing these buildings again, while getting bombed on myself.
Hunted. Hunt. Commence fire. Digging in. Fire at will. Fueled and ready, sir. Coming through. Detachment ready.
Yes, a long, 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 long process. Insanely long. This may be the very last LP I don't do edits where I'm fast forwarding through boring long parts like this to me. Because this stalemate lasts way too long. And there they are. Could have been worse. It's a good thing I nuked those.
Digging in on the double.
Aircraft carrier.
Attachment ready. Yes, sir. See you there. See you there.
I try running backwards.
Attachment ready.
That's probably a mistake.
Yes, sir. Reporting as ordered.
Yep.
Reporting as ordered. Pour it on. Fire at will. Where to? See you there. Fueled and ready, sir.
Filled and ready, sir. My poor Pennsylvania class is just like barely hanging on.
Fueled and ready, sir. Let 'em have it.
Man, this stalemate. definitely going to do more editing in the future for parts like this. But since I didn't do that at all in this Let's Play, at least in the main campaign, I might do it when I do World War II mode. And yes, my friends twisted my arm to do World War II mode. Well, I'm LPing that a bit differently. It may be part of the same game, but definitely not going to punish myself as much. Try bombing them, hoping that I can hold the line. But there's just too many units. I mean, I have so few.
We'll be there. We'll be there. We'll be there. Yes, sir. Coming through.
I don't know why I tried to send those tanks in the tank city.
Do you need something, sir?
That's obviously not gonna work.
We will constantly press the enemy with the full weight of our resources.
Yes, sir. Send off. What are your orders? Engage an enemy.
I was losing hope at this point, by the way. This is how long this stalemate lasts. I was like, am I actually gonna win this campaign, or am I going to lose? Then I see another core HQ build, and I'm like, ah. Didn't suspect anything? Why didn't you suspect anything? It's in the same spot. Talking to my past self. Like I can hear myself.
We'll be there.
Supply depot truck.
Yes, sir. Clear the road.
Should have just built more military units at this point.
See you there.
But I'm nearly at my max. And then the Japanese just burned down the supply depot. That was such a waste.
What are your orders? Coming through. Engage an enemy. Where to? Enemy contact. Airborne! Charge! Show us the enemy. Coming through. Digging in. Not another Martin. On the double.
On the
Show
double.
us the enemy.
Back to square one. Again.
We'll be there.
But I do build some artillery units, which
We'll be there.
I rarely ever do in a campaign.
Be there.
I built a bunch of them here.
Attachment ready.
Close to the point where my video cuts out again.
We'll be there. We'll be there.
I feel bad for all those men.
We must show uncommon valor.
Oh yeah, this is where I build my airfield. Hooray.
We'll be there. When do we get some R&R, sir?
Building our airfield. Airfield HQ number 1. It says number 1 on it. And I use all the researches here. Except for napalm, because I can't afford it yet. Then I research it.
Do you need something, sir? Good to go, sir.
This is the point where I'm like, if I'm gonna win this at all, I'm gonna have to bomb them to oblivion. Which I already knew.
Ready and waiting.
I just
When do
didn't
we get some
know
R&R, sir?
how much I needed to bomb them
Good to go, sir.
before I could even make progress. I thought, you know, I have a lot of artillery units. I should be able to make progress right now. Getting the second city, but nope. Spoiler alert.
Let us have the courage never to give up.
Try the supply depot method again. I'll try moving my ship down. Got interceptors now.
We'll be there. We'll be there.
Oh, poor anti-aircraft battery. Should have used my nuclear bomb right away here.
Where to?
I try this again. Attempt for the second city.
Yes, sir. Clear the road.
In hopes that I can capture it for my needs. And then the Japanese show up and ruin it. I still attempted though. Probably would have done better if the supply depot didn't get blown up.
Clear the road. Where to? Yes, sir.
We will do what must be done.
Do you need something, sir? We'll be there.
I try to take the city. I try.
Moving up.
Goodbye, flamethrower infantry regiment.
Where to? Enemy contact.
And the Japanese were in my base. They could have attacked my buildings. They decided to come down and cause trouble for me in the city. I guess they viewed the city as more important than taking out my base. Which they could have done there, but a human player would have done so. Because they still got one more city to defend, even if they lose this one. Taking out the base would have softened me up for easy pickings, but it ain't like they had trouble taking me out of the city anyway.
On the job, on the job.
Man, I feel so bad for my men. Tried not to waste troops, and that's exactly what I did.
Yes, sir.
And another core HQ building.
What are your orders?
Do not underestimate our enemies.
I think this is when I finally decide, you know, there has to be something down there. That's right. So I send my aircraft carrier down. I didn't know I had my battleship still, but it's very low health. And it keeps getting stuck on land. I tried this. It was a complete waste, as you already can guess. Try to build a third base. Nope. Japanese won't have it.
Yes, sir. We'll be there. We'll be there.
Send my aircraft carrier down, which was the smartest thing I did in the whole campaign.
What are your orders? When do we get some
Damn.
R&R, sir? We'll be there.
Looks like it's over for me. Definitely looks like it's in game for me. Yet, I haven't given up yet.
the job.
Artillery units.
We'll be there. On the job.
Replacement artillery
We'll
units.
be there.
And an anti-aircraft. And another core HQ building. Yep. Instead of moving my ship like a normal person would, I try to wait for bombing yet another core HQ building. Ain't gonna work if they can keep resupplying them, Jack. Move the ship down. Move the ship down. Just a few more feet. It's so obvious to me now. Past tense.
We'll be there. We'll be there.
Past
On the job.
2020 vision,
We'll be
right?
there. On the job. When do we get
Fire
started?
units. Oh, just move already. Come on. I think I end up trying to move right in front of it. And there was the ship that popped up. If it wasn't for those planes, I wouldn't have seen that. I was like, ooh, something to bomb. What I was really looking for that whole time was a land air base. And then, due to my lack of memory, they have an aircraft carrier. This is where I bomb it to oblivion and the video cuts out. Almost. Not before I destroy that aircraft carrier, though. After I destroy it. Don't worry, I spliced the video already to compensate, not skate, what? I saved the game and then pretty much relaunched everything, including the recorder. Come on, aircraft carrier. You've been bombing me this whole game. Let's see how you like it. How do you like being bombed for a change? Goodbye. And this is where the video cuts out. And very soon. Just gonna have a little bit of a jump. Then I send reconnaissance. And then I send my... Yeah. And... And as I said, it cut out. And I restart the campaign. It's a good thing I saved. Anyway, it's not that much different. Except I know where the battleship is, and I head south, finally, to take care of this menace once and for all. One ship left to go, and I lost my Pennsylvania-class battleship. I'm very sad. Very sad. There's the menace that's been building all those core HQ buildings. You won't be doing it for very much longer, mate. About to put an end to that campaign once and for all. Goodbye. Now, finish the job. Going for their core HQ. Waiting for my planes to recuperate. Can't talk. Don't know why I can't talk. So we're an hour and 45 minutes in. We're about 3/4 of the way done, give or take. This is where I start a massive bombing campaign, as I usually do. Goodbye, building. Try building another one now. Actually, I think they use their skill to regenerate one. But, I don't remember. But they can't do that consistently like they could with the ship.
On the job.
end the stalemate once and for all.
Do not underestimate our enemies.
Supply depots.
We'll be there. On the job. Ready and waiting.
Don't remember if I moved my men down just yet.
Moving out.
Oh yeah, I do.
Show us the enemy.
They're
Clear the
everywhere.
way.
Show you the enemy. They're everywhere around you.
Show us the enemy. Coming through. Ready and waiting. Limber up. Limber up.
Try to take the city again.
Show us the enemy. Clear the way.
Don't remember exactly what I did after this, other than I do a lot of bombing.
Good to go, sir. Zeroing in. Where to? See you there.
Best thing is they can't regenerate buildings now like they used to.
What are your orders? Engage an enemy. Yes, sir. Coming through. Clear the road. Engage an enemy. Standing by. Right away, sir.
And the Japanese are there
What are your orders? Clear the
to
road.
take me out once again, because they're a pain in the ass.
Coming through. What are your orders? Show us
They can't just surrender. Look at all those units. It's beautiful. Try bombing them. Just so I can get the city. But it does no good. Send paratroopers down even to try to get the city. This is how desperate I was.
Attachment ready.
Absolutely no success. Again. Stalemate. But the tides are turning.
We'll be there.
The tides are definitely
On the
turning.
job. We'll be there. On the job.
3 new heavy tank regiments. And I just took a quick break from my narration and now I'm back. Yeah, trying to capture that city with the paratroopers was not my brightest of ideas. Now, what the hell? My video seemed like it was crashing, and that was really weird. I was a little panicked for a second, not gonna lie. Yeah, that's the thing with Camtasia Video Editor. Sometimes you just can't trust it. And then I paused the game again. I think I unpaused it. Wow, I hope I unpause it soon. Don't remember pausing it for so long. I would cut this out, but you know, by the time I stop the narration, it'll probably have ceased to being paused. Oh, there, fixed. And I'm rebuilding my army once again because I can. I think maybe this time I decide to play more of a defensive strategy because I'm just like,
We'll be there.
what's the point?
We'll be there. We'll be there. We'll be there.
We have I think I build artillery units again.
On the job. We'll be there.
And infantry mechanized units.
On the job.
Oh, half and half. That's not bad. Japanese destroyed my supply depot as expected. Suspected, really. And I killed him for it. Take that. And I start my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful bombing campaign. I start bombing every building in sight. Until there's nothing left. Ah, Core HQ building. I knew there was one more left. But I know this is the last one.
Attachment ready.
At least I had faith it would be the last one.
We'll be there.
Hello, Core HQ building. I hope you like bombs. Get rid of the last of the Core HQs. Oh yeah, I also put reconnaissance in the ocean just in case there was other ships nearby. I wanted to be absolutely sure. And that's the end of that. More infantry.
We'll be there. On the job. We'll be there. On the job.
All kinds of units this time around.
We will constantly press the enemy with the full weight of our resources.
Oh, I'll crush the enemy with the full weight of my resources.
Where to? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Coming through.
I decided to see if I could defend that small village. I'm pretty sure. I hope I didn't make that mistake a third time. Oh, maybe not. Well, wait, I remember what I did here.
It's the general. On your
I
feet.
put division HQs instead of supply depots so I could deploy units faster. In case they did attack again.
Detachment ready. Where to?
Yeah, you gotta move those units before that truck can unpack, you know.
Digging in. On the double.
That's not a joke. Digging in.
Hunting. Hunt. Fall in.
We must show uncommon valor.
And time for a bombing raid. I go for the mechanized division HQs and armored division HQs first before I go for infantry. I decided I'm going to blow up the entire fucking base. While playing defensive.
We'll be there.
Kind of.
Where to? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Moving up. Where to? Moving up. Digging in. On the double. Good to go, sir.
They seem to be more skittish since I destroyed their last core HQ.
What are your orders? Clear the road.
Yeah, literally, clear the road. Reminds me of that one scene in Patton where there's a traffic jam and Patton's like, go this way, go that way. It's like, and you'd be a good traffic cop.
Hunting. Hunt. Fall in. Fall in.
And those guys just ran down there. Don't remember ordering that, but I was saying hold your position by selecting a specific part of the map. Something I like about Rise of Nations more, they tend to do what you ask, except for the villagers.
Where to? Yes, sir.
Let's see if we can take this now.
Where to?
That was easy.
There. Yes, sir.
They just
What
let
do
me
you
have
want?
it that time.
Take 'em out. Detachment ready. Yes,
One
sir.
city to go. Infantry division. There's the armor division. I want those armor divisions out of the way.
Detachment ready. See you there.
Yay! We only got like 30 minutes left. Give or take.
Clear the way. Reporting as ordered. Not another march.
And we bomb them to oblivion. Look at all those units. It's insane. And they're very close by. 3/4 of the island is mine.
Yes, sir.
And then my tanks head down there for no reason at all. Why do they have a mind of their own?
Clear the road. Detachment ready. See you there.
If only they knew how to use anti-aircraft units.
Member up. Detachment ready. See you there. Ready and waiting. Zeroing in. Member up.
Japanese wanting to get their city back.
Detachment ready.
But this time, I think I have the upper hand. See that detached unit right there? That can't heal now. Thanks to me blowing up their base a bit. Each tank they lose there is permanent. Especially since they don't have a core HQ to replace the building with.
Yes, sir. Coming through. Clear the road.
Piecemeal.
Where to? Yes, sir.
Waiting for my planes to restock. Take out this armor. Than underkill. Or undercut. Look at all those units. And that's the end of that. Slowly wearing them down.
Detachment ready. See you there. Show us the enemy.
Still got that to blow up. I love bombing things. I love how they just came together and just made one swooping bombing motion. Look at all those units come to try to defend their poor little division HQ because it was being bombed. Can't do it without anti-aircraft. Well, that's the end of that building. Now to get the other one. Goodbye.
Let us have the courage
Supply
never to give up.
depot number 20. Building number 20, I mean. Where's the building 19? Look at all those units. Another anti-aircraft battery. What good does it do you? It's too late now. Waiting for an atomic bomb. Gonna bomb that city to oblivion. Well, as much as the game will let me. Here we go. The last Division HQ. Their little airborne Division HQ. Now they have nothing. Really. Oh, they fled. You got lucky. Now it's time to send the army down.
On the job. Yes, sir. Coming through. Hutton, hut. Fall in. Detachment ready. Yes, sir. Enemy contact. Good to go, sir. Zeroing in. Good to go, sir. Fire for effect. Zeroing in.
This is it. Oh, that poor engineer unit that only has 3 guys left.
Detachment ready. Moving up. Where to? Yes, sir. Detachment ready.
The battle begins.
Moving up. Enemy contact. Ready and waiting. Where to? Moving up.
What I'd like to call the final battle, or battles. I don't remember if this is the final battle or not. I just know that we're close.
On the job. We'll be there. On the job. On the job. We'll be there. We'll be there. We'll be there.
They're dwindling down. Shuri will be mine soon. Go uphill, boys.
Yes, sir. Digging in. Not another march. Detachment ready. Yes, sir. Coming through. Clear the road. Ready and waiting. Repositioning.
Bomb more stuff. Oh, they came up to sacrifice themselves. How sweet.
Digging in.
You don't realize that's a suicide mission. And you're a fool.
Detachment ready. Yes, sir. Fueled and ready, sir. Clear the way. Detachment
We're
ready.
running out of men.
See you there. Good to go, sir. Fire for effect. Ready and waiting.
Yep. Ever closer.
Ready and waiting. Where to? See you there.
Look at all those reinforcements.
Moving up.
That's not enough. Your time is up. Time for the American victory is at hand.
Where to?
March on down.
Enemy contact.
They're running out of men. If they leave the city, I win the game. Literally. And that's the end.
Tokyo rocks under the weight of our bomb. I want the entire world to know that this direction must and will remain unchanged and unhampered. Our demand has been and is
Goodbye, Japan.
unconditional surrender.
Well, that's it. That's the end of the Let's Play. At least as far as the campaigns are concerned. That was the final campaign. I will never have to do an Axis and Allies campaign from the main menu ever again. I will be doing World War II mode, which I'm going to be doing a bit differently. Otherwise, I'm going to have... Anyway, I'm going to have speed ups and stuff. Can you believe it took me 6 years to do this? 6 years. I've been sitting on this LP for 6 years. And I know why too, because this is a hard thing to record and life issues and stuff. But this thing really is a hard game to record. It has a tendency to crash when I try to record it. Not when I try to play it by itself, but when I try to record it, it likes to crash a lot. That's why I didn't want to do World War II mode, but I got my arm twisted into it. And I said I would. And it would be 100% completionist sake. But the main campaign, that's done. Never again will I be playing an Axis and Allies campaign. Like, well, I will be playing, I guess technically I'll be playing RTS campaigns in World War II mode, but like, no welled out, drawn out, long campaign like this. Hopefully. I don't think World War II mode works that way. I think the campaigns are relatively short. I could be wrong. But they're different than the ones in the main menu. The main menu is a storyline. I finished the storyline for both the Axis and the Allies. And this is just the credits, congratulating me for beating the game. And it was a wonderful run. It really was a wonderful run. Phew. Atari Europe. Republishing team. Republishing director. Republishing team leader. Republishing producer. Localization team leader. Localization project man. There's a lot of people that went to work on this game. If anyone who's worked on this game somehow stumbles upon this video, which I doubt it would make a difference, but you know, like if the people who produced this game be nice to see it re-released on Steam. There's a lot of people who would want to play this game. You know? Like, the only way you can get it is used and through a CD and CD key. Like, it needs a remastered, like they did Rise of Nations. This game needs a re-release. It's about time. It's been over, let's see, 2004 to 2014's 10 years. So 16 years ago. This game's 16 years old. It needs a re-release. And that concludes this Let's Play. This is Casual Gamer, signing out. Till we play World War II mode. Then I'll be playing this again, which won't be too far. It's all done. Enjoy the video.